So, welcome, Coach Myers and Elise. We are here to talk about Shenandoah softball and the season that is coming fast approaching.
Yes.
Although practices have not yet started, right? Like
Correct.
Official practices.
Correct.
So, as we look to the season, tell us a little bit about how the team has been preparing, how you feel coming into official practices.
Well, most of them have played. Like as soon as our season's over with, a lot of them played spring travel ball.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them did play fall this year. I just still have a group of girls that are playing travel ball indoors up north right now. Some of them took some time off. I took some time off after the season this year to kind of work with my job of doing some traveling that I needed to do with them. We hit it hard 1st of January, and we've been going 2 nights a week since then. I've had a good number of girls that's come out. We've been hitting every night. The nights that we've been here, we've been hitting, getting the ball back in our hands, getting the feel for it, getting the muscle memories going so they're not sore come March 4th when we start.
Right.
And getting the feel back for what we want to do for the season.
Great. And so last year you were at 16-8 for the regular season. What things are you looking forward to kind of continue on that success, or maybe even improve upon that? I think it was a pretty successful year.
Yeah, it was. Last year was again my second year here. The first year I came into a solid group, kind of knew where their positions were, kind of knew what everybody was going to do. To coming in last year of being able to kind of do my own thing. We moved some people around a little bit, but we still had those kids that were set in their positions. We graduated 2 big, 4 senior classes the last 2 years, to coming into this year of kind of not, we're building on to what we've done the last 2 years. The girls know me now. They kind of know what I'm wanting. They kind of know what I expect out of them, and it helps even in practice. And Elise has been my rock for the last 2 years, and what I lean on for this year as well, of getting those younger girls up to speed and building upon the traditions of what Shenandoah softball's always been, and wanting to get that back to the winning season, keep building on that winning season and bringing these young kids and expect, them knowing what to expect of us and building upon that, as well as putting them into positions. It may be a freshman going into a position instead of a senior going into a position.
Right.
And it's hard work. I mean, we take the people who are going to work hard at practice,
Right,
and build upon that.
good. I want to throw you a little curveball.
That's okay.
So you talk about kids taking time off, and even you taking some time off in the off season. When you look at kids coming out, or even who are on the team, do you kind of encourage and push them to travel ball to get some additional reps and things like that? How helpful is that for you as a coach?
It is very helpful. But it's also time consuming.
Yes.
It's not, and it's very expensive. And we have a lot of girls who have a lot of experience with travel ball, like Elise, who's played it for years.
Yeah.
Who that season, I guess would be the summer season, the first season right after softball's over with, I think is important.
Mm-hmm.
It still gives them that competitive edge.
Mm-hmm.
Gets them seen if they want to go on to play at the next level. And it keeps kind of building off of the stuff that we do. I've encouraged people to play on the off season, and travel ball is a wonderful thing. It kind of tends to get too much, I think, when they're doing it in the fall, or especially if they're multiple sport athletes. I think it's very important for them to take time off for themselves and take time off to be with their families and give themselves a mental break.
Absolutely.
So
great. So you talked a little bit about the seniors over the last couple of years, but last year, a very successful, talented group of kids, Caleb Muterspaw, Starlight, Emma, and Alyssa Allen. We can't forget Alyssa.
Yes.
And talk a little bit about them, like what their contributions were to the program, and then who are you looking at to this year to step in to fill those holes?
Well, the four of them, they were a lot of fun. I mean, practices were, yeah, we had some intense practices, I'm not going to lie. There were some nights where I may have had a bad day at work, but when you come in and you have Alyssa and Kayla and Elise, who would, that group, the three of them could make anybody laugh in the antics that they did. You had Starlight, who was a million miles an hour all the time. And Emma, I always tease her that she was my favorite, but she always had her game face on no matter what, and it took me 2 years to get her to smile. Excuse me. But they were a good group of girls. I mean, they're wonderful, and they're going to be missed.
Yeah.
It's something that, I was very lucky to have the caliber of ball players that they were. Mm-hmm. Established positions that I didn't have to worry about coming into and trying to fill. What shot me in the foot a little bit is this year, after losing what we lost, I got spoiled, and now I'm doing the juggling act of who am I going to put where. I've got Elena Sheritz, who is a catcher who's caught for many years with travel ball and stuff, who we put in the infield last year. She started first base for me, with my mindset of she's going to take over that catching position for Alyssa. Well, now I'm looking at, okay, do I put her behind the plate? Do I put her at short? This one over here, who's played third base, who I'm telling you is just solid. Uh-huh. I hate to move her, but I can put her anywhere, and I know she's going to do a good job. And do I move her to short? I think outfield wise, I've got a solid outfield with Liliana Lynch, who will put some time out there. She may also spend some time behind the plate. Gabby Patrick, Taryn Mills, who played there. I think I can fill that position in center field. I've got Olivia Watson, Olivia Hinesley, a freshman coming in who throws well. Taryn, who will throw a little bit. There's a couple other freshmen who have shown some promise in practice that I might be able to throw, as far as pitching wise. But the attitudes and what they brought to the team, the leadership that those four. I'm lucky again that I've had Elise, who's been a captain for me the last 3 years, who can step into that role in with no problems whatsoever. And I think that some of our younger girls, I have like Lydia, Schwagmeyer, Gabby, Elena. Again, I think some of our younger girls will step up and help her as well.
You always see those kids, guys. They grow from freshman to sophomore, sophomore to junior.
Yeah.
There's always those progressions that sometimes you're surprised by.
Yeah.
And kids are like, oh wow, you couldn't do that last year, but you can this year, and that's always good to have, good to see sometimes. Elise, as Coach Myers talked about, as she's mentioned multiple times, you are her rock, and as you're a senior coming in, having seen seniors come through. As you look towards this year, how do you see your role on this team?
I think so. There's different ways to leadership. There's different kind of actions you can take as a leader. So there's There's the vocal role of a leader, and I think that can be executed well and it can be really effective. But I think that the vocal kind of style of leadership isn't really my thing. I think I'm more of a leader by example. Mm-hmm. And my freshman year, Bridget Lowry, she was the best leader by example that I've ever seen, and she outworked everybody. It showed in games, and I really think that she's a past senior that I looked up to a lot, and who I'm going to try to mimic and parallel, because I want to be seen by my teammates as a leader who leads by example, and not just somebody that's going to say, hey, you're doing this wrong and you suck, you need to pick it up, which sometimes is effective, and it's okay to say that you need to pick up your slack, but I think it's better to show what you can do yourself, and hopefully that your teammates will start to mimic that as well.
Yeah, kind of modeling that behavior, and I definitely agree. So what do you think as you look forward to the season again? What does success look like for you as a player, and then you as a team?
I think I'm going to start first with as a team. I really want to see first growth as athletes and also growth as people. I think that sports teach us a lot about ourselves and how we can be better people out in the real world. So I want to teach my teammates mostly about failure and how to overcome failure, because softball is a sport of failure.
Right.
And I think that it's important for me as a leader to also show how to be a good example of how to overcome failure. And so one of my biggest goals for the team is to be able to understand that failure is a tool, and failure is not something that is, failure is a setback in a sense, but it's also something that helps you grow. So growth for the team is one of the biggest things that I am looking forward to. For myself, I'm really just honestly wanting to enjoy this last season before I go to college, and college will be my last 4 years playing softball. So, and it's going to be serious, and I'm going to have to work hard. So this season I'm really wanting to just enjoy.
Has it hit you yet that you're a senior and this is it?
Oh yeah. Okay. So it really only hit me 2 weeks ago. And I was just this last semester of school is going to go by so fast because of softball.
Yeah.
And I want to enjoy my time with my girls, and I want to just kind of have a serious but still, I don't want to say lax, but just an enjoyable time my senior year.
Yeah. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Go out and play. Absolutely. So you alluded a little bit to post-graduation, post-Shenandoah. What are your plans? Have you finalized school?
Yep.
All that stuff?
Yes. So I'm going to be attending Trine University. I'm going to major in biochemistry, which is scary but good. And I'm going to play softball there.
Okay.
I'm really excited because at a D3 school like Trine, I can get a good balance of academics and softball.
Right.
So, and that's really what I was looking for in a school, because I know if I go to a bigger school, there's going to be a push to focus on athletics, and I'm not going to be able to get the academic experience that will prepare me for my future. So I'm really excited to do that, and after that I plan to go to med school, which is also scary. But I've had a passion for science and the medical field since I was little. I've had kind of some bad experiences with health professionals, but so that's kind of what drove me in that direction. But yeah, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. So I would transition back to talk about how we as a community can we support the team? Are there fundraisers? Are there, obviously coming out to the game?
Yeah, right. The more spectators we can get, the better. The girls, the girls seem to perform well with bigger crowds.
Right.
We are going to be doing we'll be going to 1,000 Degree Pizza. I think that was set today for March 20th. We're also going to be doing a donation type fundraiser through Adrenaline.
Yeah.
I think is what it's called. Sorry, Keith. We'll be starting that. We'll be setting that up the first week of practice. So once we get everybody here, we'll be setting that up. That's the only things that we really have set up at this point. I think we'll be doing some Raider wear, softball wear that we'll be letting our parents do as well, and our fans. But that's one thing I'm horrible about. I do want to try to get in front of more with the girls, getting into a couple things with the community. For us is maybe a cleanup day or something that we can go into, just to get a little bit more with getting people involved with the community. The one other thing we also do the tryouts. We hold the tryouts for the Middletown League.
Yep.
I think that is Sunday the 17th. That we'll be out here, and so they get to see all the little girls. All the little girls get to come out and hang out with the big girls, and they set up. And Lisa's been a part of that the last 3 years, so she kind of takes control of most of it. But they get to go and they put the little ones through tryouts for the coaches to see. So that's a big fun day for them too.
And you sometimes you host the girls out at a game too. Is that right? Or
Yeah. We'll they do. I know last year we only had one team that came out, but they do. And it's welcome that anytime they want to come out. The girls like it. They get to be introduced with our girls during introductions of the game, the pregame stuff, and get to go through a lot of the stuff with them.
Yeah. And just thinking about that connection to the Middletown softball league. I know Elise, you've played down there. I've seen. I mean, I've been a coach down there. I've seen some of those girls kind of progress through. I know your husband is coached and umpired.
And umpired, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny you said that. We were just talking about it. I started down there in juniors.
Okay.
And I fell in love with the game. My dad decided to kind of get into coaching.
Yeah.
He got in late after I went into high school, so he didn't really coach me. He was there to watch.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was one of my biggest cheerleaders, and I don't know what I would have ever done without that. But he got into coaching when Crystal Inman was playing downtown. So he had Jennifer Kiesling and that group, and he loved it. And I was at the time I was in high school, I was in college, I played, and then, for him to stay into coaching, and he was down there for many years. And when he passed, we were able to get some donation money through that to help build the dugouts and the new diamond that they had down there. So it's kind of a thing for me is I don't get as much summertime to go down there to spend as much as I would love to.
Right.
But knowing that I do have something with that is not only did I start there, but my dad was able to have his name down there on the dugouts.
Absolutely, and we've seen so many of our girls come through.
Yeah.
And there's always that connection.
Yeah.
So when did practices officially begin for softball?
Monday, March 4th.
March 4th.
Yeah.
And if there are any Raiders here who are thinking about coming out but maybe haven't made a decision, what should they be doing now?
They just need to come out March 4th.
Okay.
That'll be the first week. We'll get the numbers together, see what we have, see if we're going to have to make cuts. I'm hoping to not have to do that this year. I would love to be able to keep as many people who wants to play.
Right.
That's the biggest thing is the commitment. It is a commitment. Once we start, we don't stop.
Right.
March 18th is our scrimmage that we will have with Union County if the weather permits. And then that first week of April, I think it starts on the 31st of March. That first week, we're back to back to back. I mean,
Yeah.
and it seems that way the entire season.
Yeah.
We play 4 or 5 games a week.
Mm-hmm.
So once we start, and of course it's spring in Indiana, so you never know if it's going to snow, rain, or be 80 on March or February 21st. And that's the thing. If the weather stays like it is, I'm hoping to get out that first week of practice so we can be on the field. Obviously, we just don't know.
Right.
So
absolutely.
But we'll we'll hit the ground running, and as soon as we can, because we've got that short window to get everybody ready.
Yes.
For our first game.
I always feel like spring sports, super condensed.
Mm-hmm.
You have basically end of March, and then you're going until mid-May, and then sectionals kind of start and all that. And so, whereas the other sports, I feel like it's all winter.
Yeah.
And so definitely can feel you with that, with track and all that. So, thank you so much for coming and talking with us.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you want the Raiders to know about softball?
Anything?
Give it a try.
Yes.
The one thing I did want to say, I did miss one of the earlier. I have to commend the girls that we have, and Elise is a big part of that because she comes in every day with her game face on, and she comes in every day and works hard. We have a group of girls that work hard every day at practice, and as a coach, that's something that you want. They come and play because they want to play. They come to play because they like the game.
Right.
And we're hoping that every day we can build and be better. And we also want to keep the love of the game for these kids.
Right.
And I'm not saying there's days that, we don't have that one person that's like, oh my God, I don't want to be here. Because, everybody does. But we're just hoping that as coaches, we can make it as enjoyable for them and want to keep playing. Because if they want to keep playing and keep being here, then it only helps us make them better.
Right.
So.
Absolutely, and that's part of it. Goes back a little bit to what Elise said about teaching like those life skills, those life moments. Not every day is going to be awesome,
Right.
but some fighting through that and having people who have your back is so much.
And we want them to enjoy it.
Right.
We want you to have an enjoyable season this
Yes,
year.
absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.